Okay. A lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of in my head, but it's kind of leaking outside of my head, because it's like, it's, it's one thing to sit here and overthink, but it's another for it to put you in a state of anxiety and fear and at a breaking point and unavoidable, right? You're kind of in a point where all your other options are exhausted and you have to deal with this because it's next. Maybe that looks like for you leaving something behind, whether it's a home you've been with for a while, maybe a set of people, a type, like one person, but it looks more like a family. It looks like you have an idea in your brain about what maybe a good family looks like, or what a good family would, or what that would mean to you, and I think you're realizing that, where you're at is not going to give that to you, as far as maybe your environment, or there's some form of imbalance and disharmony that's causing you confliction within yourself to kind of move you to make a choice one way or another. But it's looking like a very emotional choice, maybe not physical, but more like in your head. Maybe it's just an idea of like, maybe you don't have to physically leave something behind, but you have to mentally leave something behind, a way of thinking, or maybe the overthinking is what you need to leave behind. Let's continue. Yeah, and I think you're feeling the passion, you're feeling the urges rise in you, where you were able to kind of suppress them before and kind of like push them back down and swallow that pride back up. I don't feel like it's easy right now. I feel like it's revving up, like there's a fire under your ass. Like life is saying, get moving, like in one way or another, and in some capacity. Yeah, and I feel like you already have the tools, and you already know that you're somebody who's meant to be successful, whatever that means for you, and that there's no question about it. Like, you got people to see and meet, and things to do, and stuff to learn, and victories to be had, and lands to be conquered. And and I feel like for a while maybe you've been in an isolation period, or been by yourself, and it's really allowed you to kind of like really organize within the deep depths of your own desires, what you want and what you don't want. And that served a purpose for a time, but I think you're definitely feeling the pull to come outside, basically to come outside and start playing, because there's, like I said, people to meet, things to do, things to conquer, victories to be had. And I feel like you just have to get past this point of being stuck in your head about what you're leaving behind. Coming out. Exactly. It's not going to be very long of a process here. I think you've shed a lot so far, and I feel like that's going to help you in this next phase feel lighter and maybe more rejuvenated, and have more energy for yourself and for the things that you want to go after, and like for your own goals. Yeah. And grouping with people who are like-minded, and maybe meeting up with people and places and things that have similar interests as you for once, versus feeling like you're beating a dead horse around people that don't share the same interests as you. Yeah. Life is giving you the opportunity to take charge in your own life, and give yourself this stability that you've already seen people, go through their own phases and not get that for themselves. So you kind of know what that outcome looks like, and you kind of got to see it like through other people. So it's kind of helpful, I think, for you to have had those examples, but not to take them, but to not have to experience them yourself to have learned the message. Yeah. Maybe you feel like you're running out of time, like, you know, and time is relative. Like, it's up to you what that means. But I think you're going to find really soon that, you know, you're going to find the team that works for you, and things are just going to flow way better, because you just weren't meant to grow with the team that you were set with to begin with, because they weren't meant to grow with you. They were meant to set examples for you, so you didn't have to physically go through them. Yeah, you can decide if you see it as a failure, or if you just want to start anew. I mean, yeah, I feel like you've planned this for a long time, like in your head. I think you've thought the hell out of it. You've thought the crap out of it. Like, I don't think you can do much more. But just pull back your energy where you feel like it's not being met, and move forward. And winning season is upon us. And we can all win. There's room for us all to win. Have a peaceful day.